Brush it, brush it, brush it. It's good for your teeth. Brush it, brush it, brush it. Hey, Bubba. Hey, sis. Can't wait to see you. We miss you real heavy around these parts, girl. Hey, y'all. Hey, sis. Thank you for coming always. Thank you for being all over for your girl. Not one time, but every time. Thank you so much. Brush it, brush it, brush it. That is so funny. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank y'all. Brush it, brush it, brush it. I now done had this splint on my finger for some weeks now. I think I'm gonna take it off this week. But I've been trying to make sure my fingers really heal because it still hurt if I hit it. And I got that little dent. Like I got a little deformity in my finger. So I'm sure I probably got a little fracture in it. I broke it. I think I broke it, y'all. But all is well. I'm fine. It's a lot better. A lot better than what it was. Thank y'all for whoever in here. Thank y'all for coming. If it's another person, thank y'all. Um, like the video, please, for me. Share the video. If I say something you like, or if you like my vibe, of course, make sure you subscribe to Keena's Corner and hit the bell notification so when I do go live, which will be every Thursday night, I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. All right. Again, thank you. Mm. Thank y'all so much for coming, whoever you are. So I realized something recently that stopped me in my tracks. I didn't just have a hard few years, I survived a lifetime in 4 years. And the reason I'm so tired, what I figured out, the reason I'm so tired isn't because I'm weak, it's because I had to heal later. Like initially, that I cannot talk. The reason I'm so tired isn't because I'm weak, is because I had to heal later. At first, initially, I can't even say the word initially. I never had time to heal from the beginning, from betrayal to surviving finances to raising two children alone. There was no pause for me, is my point. There was no pause for me. There was no recovery. There was no space for me to fall apart. I had to keep going while I was bleeding. I had to mother while I was grieving. I had to survive while I was broken, right? And if you've been asking yourself, why am I still so tired? Why hasn't this gotten easier for me? Why do I feel worn down even though I've made it through? This episode is for you, because sometimes it's not that life is hard, it's that too much life happened to you at one time, too much happened at once. That's good. That's just my that's how just I'm coming in. Again, because sometimes it's not that life is hard, it's that too much life happened to you at once. Let's talk about it, y'all. Hey y'all, welcome to Keena's Corner. I'm your girl Keena, and I thank you sincerely for being here in my corner. Here on Keena's Corner, I speak facts, opinions, truths, vulnerabilities, and need to knows. If you're here on my Facebook or on my YouTube, if you would for me, please like the video, comment, share, subscribe, double tap the screen. I think if you double tap it, it'll give you the option, I believe, to like the video. Again, if you like something that I say, if it's your first time here, I appreciate you for coming. I hope it's not your last. I just speak facts and all that good stuff over here. Opinion. Not everything I say is factual, but it's based on my perspective. But I don't just be up here talking. I speak on things I know about, things I've gone through, and real life experience. So I got a lot of credibility when it comes to that, because I just talk about things I know about or I've been through, right? So again, if you're here, if you come along, drop a heart in the chat. Even if you watch the replay, drop something. Let me know you were here. Make sure you like the video. I appreciate y'all. So this particular episode, it ain't polished. It's just not. a motivational thing, but it is very honest. And I try to be very honest and very transparent. If you're listening while cleaning up the house, folding laundry, while driving, you know, laying in the bed, exhausted, stay with your girl. Stay with me. You ain't got to fix everything tonight. I know you got to tell yourself sometimes, just listen. So I realized something last week that actually changed how I saw myself, my exhaustion, and my healing. I survived a lifetime in 4 years. And of course, I always tell y'all I get my topics and the things I talk about from everyday life, not just to get up here talking, but to actually help somebody to let you know if you've gone through or you can make it through what you go through. I'll just say that you can make it through things that you go through. So I get these topics from living everyday life. You know, that's how I write books. That's how I get these topics. And me and my mom were talking, my main girl. Me and my mom were talking, and I was telling her how I've literally for 4 years I have been like exhausted mentally and physically. And she said those words to me. She didn't say them just like that, but she said that, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it sat with me. I told her when I came back, she was like, "Well, Keena, you went through in 4 years what a lot of people go through in the span of a lifetime." And I just sat there for a minute and I thought about that. I got up, went to the kitchen at our house, was thinking about that. It sat with me. And I got up and went to the bathroom. I came out the bathroom. I was like, Mom, I never even realized that. I said, it's very true what you just said. A lot of what I've gone through in the last 4 years, people experience over the period of a lifetime. And that's where I got this topic from. So I truly did. I've survived a lifetime in 4 years. And once I realized that, it made sense to me right then and right there. It made sense to me. Like I was telling her too, like how I told my friend this too, but I'm telling my mom like how on Sundays, it's like I'm not rushing my time, but I'm already looking forward to Friday because I know that night at least is the night that I'll get maybe a little more rest after I get off work, right? After I done took care of my kids or whatever I gotta do. Usually that night I'll be able to get a little bit more rest, sleep a little later on Saturday morning, but you still got to get up and be an adult. You know what I'm saying? So that me and my mom were talking about that. I told her it's like I'm tired in advance, you know, and that's true. Sundays is like fuck. I gotta do this, or I gotta do that, and I gotta do this. And I make notes on my phone because I'm a busy mom. I make notes on my phone. My kids need this, and my kids need field trip money, and my kids need that. So I have to make notes and try to take care of myself in the process of while I'm going through all of these things and just doing things alone. So it's like literally I'm tired in advance. It's like I'm already thinking about everything that I have to do. And it's like in my mind, I'm already tired, just dreading everything that I have to do. Because when I went through what I did, y'all, I never had time to stop and sit in it first. Like I told y'all on my first episode of Keena's Corner to sit still and heal. If your story is anything like mine, and we don't have to compare because you acknowledge your hurt and I'm acknowledge mine. We don't have to compare. But if your hurt or your story is anything like mine, I never had a chance to stop and sit in it and heal and think about it and say, okay, I can put this off, but then, I'm gonna put taking care of my kids off, or I'm gonna put work off, or I'm gonna put my careers off, and I'm gonna put this off, and I'm just gonna worry about healing. I didn't have a chance to do that. I didn't have a chance to do that. So again, what my mom said to me, I promise y'all, I never had even really realized that why I'm so tired because I was explaining it, which is kind of, it's kind of sad because we do explain things like that, but a lot of times people are not able to, I'm gonna say, people aren't able to understand or even sympathize when you say things like that, especially a lot of women. When you say you tired and I'm exhausted, people will real life look at you like you're lazy, like you complaining. But a lot of the times it's hard for people to sympathize for you or with you in situations like that. You know why? Because a lot of women have had to go through the same thing. A lot of women have had to go through that same thing where they're doing a lot on their own, where they didn't really have a chance to sit still and heal, where they had to just pick up and keep going, no matter what was hurting, no matter what they needed to heal, no matter what responsibilities they had, no matter what bills they had, no matter their careers, no matter how what their kids needed, they had to pick up and keep going. Also, a lot of people aren't able to empathize, to understand where you're coming from, or sympathize feel sorry for you because a lot of the times women doing a lot of things on their own these days is normalized. That's a whole different conversation. May actually even be something we talk about next week, but it's normalized because so many women have had to do it. So now it's almost like it's a normal thing. It's common, but it's still not normal because I don't feel like God made women just to do all this shit by herself. And you stop me when I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. But again, that's a whole different conversation. But I'm saying it's hard for a lot of people to empathize and sympathize with you for those two very reasons. So a lot of y'all don't know me, right? A lot of you don't know me. So what I mean by I've been through a lifetime in 4 years. In 2021, if you never heard me a day in your life, in 2021, my life cracked open. I'll just call it that. Cracked completely open. Cracked open. I was pregnant around 7 months. I was pregnant. I was married. I was still traveling with, my ex. We were doing things. I was living what looked like a good life, right? And then boom, betrayal. Just remember these things as I go, right? So again, I'm married, I'm pregnant, traveling, living what I thought would look like a good life. And then again, boom, everything changed. It cracked open. Betrayal. For me, it was a lot that kind of played into it. It wasn't just what we went through publicly, like everybody knew about. It wasn't just infidelity. But for me, it was a lot of cruelty towards me. Right. And that shit hurt. That damn near took me up out of here. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I'm a pretty strong person, but damn, you know, it hurt. Like, so it's like I was already hurt. And then in the same time, I was dealing with a bunch of cruelty, right? I went through a lot. I went through public humiliation. Everybody knew it was public. Even people that had been in my face, that had smiled in my face and, talking to me, they knew a bunch of stuff. Everybody knew about it. It was just humiliation for me and it was embarrassment, right? I was embarrassed. I went through emotional abandonment. The hardest part for me, it wasn't just what was done, it was how it was done and how everything happened to me, all the cruelty afterwards, right? The thing is, though, I never got time really to process it, not at the beginning. I didn't get a chance to do that. I didn't get a chance to process it because I already had a child who needed me. I do have an older son. I already had a child who was living on this earth who still needed me at that time, even when everything happened. He still needed me, right? I had bills that did not stop. Yeah, I can go down to the light bill place and tell them that, hey, I'm going through this. I'm pregnant. Hey, you know, I'm about to divorce. Hey, I got COVID. Hey, this happened to me. But still, I had bills that I had to pay. The bills didn't stop. And at that time, I was carrying a new life inside of me. Again, I was about 7 months pregnant, right? So at the time, I couldn't fall apart. I couldn't afford to. I couldn't afford to. So keep going. Later on, and the next year, I end up having my son. End up having my son, right? I was healthy, I mean, I was healthy. Everything went fine, went well, rather. Everything went well. I was sick at the time. And when I say sick, not like deathly ill or something like that. I just had COVID. But, oh, that was awful. Excuse me. But from that moment, after that happened, after I had my son, or even just since my split, since my separation, everything fell on me. Everything fell on me. There was no real help. There was no easing into single motherhood. There was no time for me to heal first. It sounds good, but I didn't have time to do that. I went from heartbreak to survival mode literally overnight. That's why I said boom. My life, my world cracked open. I went from heartbreak. I went from heartbreak to survival mode overnight. And what I realized is I've been there ever since. I have been in survival mode ever since. And I'm not saying that meaning that I'm depressed, that I'm just unhappy. No, I have a good life. I'm still grateful for everything. And I always find a silver lining in everything. Y'all know that about me. I'm blessed. I'm grateful, but I have been in survival mode. Like I'm always bracing for something to happen. What's going to happen next, right? I always looking for something to happen. Not that I'm negative. I'm actually I'm not pessimistic. I'm actually optimistic. I'm always positive and looking for good things to happen, but I brace myself for what could be happening next, Cuz I'm used to having to gear up and put that protector mode on and kind of I kind of had to push off my healing just so I could keep going for me, for my kids, the bills I had to pay and things I was responsible for cuz none of that stopped. I was raising a newborn and I was still showing up for my oldest even though I was hurt, bleeding, hurt like hell, crying every day. Didn't know if I was gonna see it out, make it through. Handling bills that I never had to once worry about before, or bills I never even cared alone. For me, at the time, even emotionally like regulate my children while trying to emotionally regulate myself. And the whole time I'm bleeding on the inside. That's hard. That is so hard. So there was no recovery period for me, just responsibility. No recovery period. I didn't have one. I didn't get a chance to have one. I just had a lot of responsibility. When you don't get time to heal, baby, your body gonna know it. Your body will keep score. Your body knows it. People love to say that time makes it easier. I don't know. It just depends on you and your situation. We can't say that for everybody, right? It time, I believe, eventually time, but you don't know how long it's gonna take you. That's just fact. You can't put a time on your healing. I'm sorry, but you cannot. Don't know the circumstances. For me, it took me years. Years. It took me years to do. So time will make it easier eventually, but you can't put a cap on it. You don't know what the time is gonna be. For me, honestly, sometimes it's just seemed to get harder because my load it never lightened. Y'all hear me? My load never lightened. So we keep going down the year, right? Keep going down the years. For 2023, by then I was truly single. On paper single, I was fully divorced. Even then, it was mess, it was bullshit, it was pettiness, no apology, no accountability, no acknowledgement, and I still had to carry that quietly. I still had to do that. So if you ever wondered why you tired years later, why you embrace before the week even starts, why rest feels like something you look forward to more than joy, it's not because you're broken, it's because survival became your normal. Mm, that's a word. Hope y'all heard that. Mm. So when me and my mom were talking last weekend, she said them words to me right there. You've gone through in 4 years what most people go through in a lifetime. You've gone through in 4 years what most people go through in a span of a lifetime. It's like I exhaled. I told her, I was like, Mama, I never realized it. Like it's literally it's like I finally exhaled because suddenly my exhaustion it made sense to me because I don't like to feel like I'm complaining. I told you a lot of times I follow up what I'm saying is I'm not complaining because I understand people have it worse than we do all the time. I'm grateful for what I have. This is off topic, but y'all know it's been cold down south. We've been going through this little winter storm or whatever. We walked in the house the other night and I literally walked in the house and said, Lord, thank you for this heat because some people don't have that. So I never want to feel like I'm complaining, but still at the same time, my situation is different than yours and yours different than mine. But I'm telling you, I have gone through shit in the last 4 years that will break most people. I have. I have gone through what most people go through and in a span of a lifetime in just 4 years. I have. So now my exhaustion makes sense to me. I wasn't weak, I was overloaded. I'm still overloaded sometimes. More often than not, I am. I wasn't healing late. I was healing while parenting, while I was pregnant, while I was working, while I was surviving, while I was still trying to heal. And that is a different kind of hard, sis. That is a different type of hard. Listen, I'm telling you, I know ain't nobody had to tell me how strong I am, how courageous, whatever I am. I know that. That shit is hard. It is hard. That's a different kind of tired. Facts. So hear me clearly. You want ease is not failure. You wanting ease is not failure. Please know that. That's where I am. Again, I am very optimistic, so I always hope for the best. And I believe good things are gonna happen for me. Wanting ease does not mean you're ungrateful. Wanting rest does not mean you're lazy. Wanting better does not mean you hate your life. It means you've been strong long enough. That's exactly where I am. I talk to God like I talk to y'all. Look here now. Hey, I know you ain't bring me this far to leave me. I know you ain't taking me through all that for no reason. What we doing? What type of time are you on now? Big sandals. What we doing? What we doing, right? You did not heal late, you survived first. If you listen and you asking, why am I still so tired? Why hasn't this gotten easier? Why do I feel worn down even though I made it through? Let me free you on this particular episode. You did not imagine the weight, you carried it. You didn't fail to heal. You survived a lifetime in a few years. Anything like me, you definitely survived a lifetime in just a few years. And survival does not have to be you forever. That's what I claim for me. If this is you listening, that's what I claim for you too. Survival does not have to be you forever. This season isn't about proving your strength anymore. I tell y'all, I've said before in another episode, baby, you do not get a trophy or a prize or an award for you being the strongest person in the room. It's okay to want ease. It's normal to want ease, period. It's about you allowing the ease, the softness, and provision to meet you. The things I went through um, in my past. Again, most people it happens for most people just spread out over time. But I went through all of that at one time. At one time, heartbreak, trying to rebuild my finances, worry about finances, single parenting, grief, healing. You think about it. Think about it before I let you go. Pregnant, abandoned, mistreated, financial shock, single motherhood, a newborn, a child, an older child who still needed stability and healing happening while the world was still going. You think about it. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. That's a lot, ain't it? That's a lot. I didn't get the luxury of collapsing when it happened. I didn't get to say I'm a heal first and then I'm a mother later. No, I didn't get a chance to do that. I did not get a chance to do that. Because when all this happened that day, when all this happened, I still had a child who needed safety that very day, right? A couple months later, a whole new life arrived that I had carried on the inside of me. He needed everything from me, right? I did what a lot of strong women have to do when there's no other option. I had to. I had to stand up, be strong because I had no other choice. I had to postpone my healing, right? A lot of us have to. I didn't ignore my pain. I just carried it while I still was functioning, right? That's why my tired is not a regular tired. It's just exhaustion. A lot of people don't understand that. So, sis, you are allowed to want ease without explanation. You're allowed to rest without guilt. Rest. You don't have to explain that. Period. You ain't got to explain it. You ain't got to be feel guilty about it either. You're supposed to. And I do hope you know no matter how discouraging things may be, no matter what it looks like for you, no matter how it feels, I hope you know things will get easier. But you got to keep going though. You got to keep going. Again, I'm just not on here telling you things I heard about. This is what I've gone through. Things will get better. You have just got to keep going. Period. The fact The biggest testimony, the fact that I'm still here, the fact that I still love my kids, take care of my children, the fact that I'm still not bitter, the fact that I still don't hate anybody, the fact that I still can forgive people, the fact that I still love people, the fact that I still dream of and want better, that is not accidental. It's not. I truly survived a lifetime in 4 years. I did. It's okay for me and you for want a softer season next. That's where I am. I want mine. I want mine. I want my softer season. I do. I hope you feel the same. Of course, we don't know. You don't know how the ease is coming. We don't know. We don't even know when it's coming, right? You just got to stop believing that you don't deserve it because you do. You do deserve it. You deserve it. You're tired that you're going through. It might be the exhausted kind, the exhausting kind. Mine has been exhausting. That's the kind of tired I've been. The kind of tired that you can't even explain. I'm just tired. I'm tired. But your healing is worth all the heartache, all the pain, all the trauma, all the drama, all the betrayals, all the strife that you've had to go through, that you've had to endure. Your greater and your ease is coming, and you're not wrong for choosing ease over survival. Those are just facts. Facts. Man, I'm done, y'all. That's my spiel. This was good. I'm done, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all over here in the comments. Thank y'all so much. This was good. My mama, literally, man, my mom was talking that good old talk, and I had never, Lord knows, I had never just looked at it like that. And she said that it was like I had like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, it shocked me. So I got up, I walked to the kitchen, I was sitting up there thinking and thinking and thinking about it. Then I went to the bathroom, still thinking and thinking and thinking about it. I come back, I said, Mama, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, and I never thought about it like that. But I mean, y'all, if listen, I mean, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you've been through, but I have gone through some tough ass shit, y'all, in the last 4 years, and and that's an understatement. Like I have gone through things that will people just they wouldn't go they wouldn't make it through, or if they did, they come out broken. They will be bitter. They will be hating people. They will give up on all men, say all men ain't shit, not forgive people and hate folks. I don't have that energy in me to do it because all people ain't the same. But it is very true. In 4 years, I have gone through a lot, and it all happened at one time. Again, married, pregnant, right? Then a betrayal. I'm still pregnant, right? I still had an older son who needed some care that very day, right? So then I have my youngest. Now I have two, but I never had a chance to stop. And then, of course, everything's on me. So things I wasn't used to paying, now I got to pay, right? Everything. But blessing is your girl made it. And you know what's funny, y'all? You still on here? I was at work. I got this little flip book at work, and it changes with the date. Today it said, it's real short. Matter of fact, I took a picture of it. I flipped on today, January 29th, and it said, and I started working on this episode. Well, of course, Thursday. I started working on this episode Monday, and I flipped in my book today at work, and the little message for today, January 29th, said, your greatest hurt will probably be your greatest ministry. I was like, wow. So, man, look, whatever you're going through, though, I promise you, you can get through it. You can get through it. I understand. It may not be something that people don't understand. I tell people that, um, what you're going through is not for other people to understand. You just need some good people in your corner who gonna help you walk through it, because they may not understand. And people are quick to tell you what you should do or what to do if they're not in your shoes. I don't. That's the thing about it. I don't care. Even if I've been through a particular thing. Now, if you want my advice, I'll give it to you. I will give you my advice. If you ask me, people, and well, for people been doing this anyway before my marriage, after my marriage. I just always been a person that a lot of people come to about different things, and I never really knew why, but I do know why now. Because speaking and helping people is my purpose. I can't tell you how many times I've heard you should be a counselor. You need to be a counselor. People call me all the time, and I just listen to them. Or people have come visited me before just to talk to me and stuff like that. But even if your situation, if you've gone through something I've gone through, if you want my advice, I'll give it to you, but I can't tell you what to do in your situation because your situation is not mine and you're not me in the same token. So, hey, man, listen, I enjoyed this episode. I truly did. I enjoyed this episode, y'all. This was good. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here on King's Corner. Again, that's why I get my topics from, y'all. Just everyday life. I got you, mama. I get my topics from everyday life. That was actually inspired by my main lady, my mama. But she be, hey, mama apparently dropping them bombs too, cause that was good. I don't know if I can say that on here, but I ain't mean it like that, YouTube. But mama dropping them she dropping the good stuff on y'all. That's how I got this topic. All right, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long because I think I'm already on here a little longer than I normally am. Yeah, I am. Thank you so much. If somebody's over here, I can't see you, but I think I see somebody over here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Of course, as always, I appreciate y'all. This is Keena's Corner, where we heal, grow, and tell the truth even when it hurts. If this episode blessed you, please don't just listen. Tap in with your girl one time. If you're on an iPhone or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please, if you would for me, like the episode, leave a rating and leave a review. The rating goes just the stars, and then the review are actual words. So if you would for me, I would appreciate it. And of course, it only helps more people hear what I talk about and hear this healing. Thank y'all so much. If you are anybody, if you listen on Good Pods, please do me a favor and recommend the episodes. Of course, it just helps me grow. And then they push me further up the algorithm. I do think people need to hear this type of content. I realize that I am not for everybody. I cannot tell you how many times on a bunch of different places, but specifically YouTube, I have been subscribed to and then unsubscribed to. But my content is not for everybody because honestly, when you speak about healing, sometimes you're going to step on some toes. People just don't want to hear that. It ain't like I know you for real, sweetie. I don't know you for real, but a lot of times you say stuff that people aren't ready to hear yet. They will not like your content. So I'm not for everybody, but if you find anything interesting or something healing that I do say, then of course, subscribe. Let a friend know to let another friend know that Keena's Corner is where it's at. All right, y'all. Until next time, stay real, be authentic, be you, be honest, stay balanced. God ain't using the perfect ones, He wants the real ones. Stay authentic. Thank y'all so much for tuning into season 12, episode 2 of Keena's Corner. This is episode 112 in total. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed delivering the message. I thank you for being here, and I thank you sincerely for being here in your girl's corner. I'm your girl, Keena. I'm out, signing out. I love y'all so very much. I will talk to you next week. Mwah, mwah. Bye.